Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're back at the Laundromat, and we're hoping we'll have a record quarter collection today. We had a very, very good weekend. It's the day after the 4th of July, so I think the DMV is actually open, but nobody realizes it's open, and I'm okay with that. But over this last weekend, we had the most change ever used from our change machine, which equaled the most cash we've ever had, and so I'm hoping that means a record this week. I've got a surprise coming for the Laundromat. I'll show you here soon. But we also had the 4th of July, like I said, so it's possible we don't break a record even though we had a really, really good weekend. And these I just got. We're going to put up some posts with some signs very soon because people just keep parking in like the 4 spots we've got. That's okay. All right. This is our change machine. We do not have card readers. We don't have credit cards. We just use quarters, which I actually like, and it's cheaper and less things it can break. But I was here a day and a half ago, 2 days ago, and replenished quarters, but I have not taken cash out since Monday. So Monday we took out 1,090. Was that it? 1,090 something? And so this is the cash from Monday to Friday that's come in, and we will count that up and see how much is there. But it's a good amount, and I ran out of quarters to put in the change machine, so we'll obviously have to get some of the quarters from the washers and dryers when we take quarters out of those. So counting that up, and I know sometimes I do vertical, sometimes I do horizontal videos. I have lots of different accounts with TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, and some work better than others, but I don't have the patience or time to do 2 forms for every single video, so there you go. But we counted up the money and ended up getting $723 here, plus the 1,096. I forget. It was somewhere in there. We had almost $1,800 in cash come through this past week, which is really good because while this isn't technically profit because we're exchanging quarters for dollars, it is the cash I take home. So the quarters just keep getting recycled. Over, a few months, we usually accumulate more quarters and we give it out, and we have to go take those to the bank. I just did a video on that recently. But as you can see, all my quarters are gone. We don't have to do that very often. And for the most part, the money I collect out of here is that cash. So good to see. We'll check the vending machines, the pop machine, the soap machine, and then we will collect quarters from the washers and dryers and see how it goes. Some people have been complaining that my vending machine isn't giving them candy. I know some people have been shaking it. So some people are shaking it and getting free candy, and then some people are putting money in and not getting candy. So that doesn't really even out how it should. Not exactly sure how to fix it. I tested a few of them and they worked okay. I've had others I know that didn't work and they started working okay. It's just a tricky situation. If I really wanted to, I could buy all new vending machines and spend, $5,000-$10,000, but I don't want to do that. So for right now, they seem to be working okay. Here's our pop machine, which did amazing last week. We had to refill the Sprite and root beer already. We're getting low on Mountain Dew. Orange Crush and Coke is okay. So doesn't look like we did quite as well as last week. But like I said, last week was like over $40. And we'll count this up and see what we've got here pretty soon. But not awful, not amazing. And here's our soap machine, which sometimes is amazing, sometimes not amazing. But this last week, someone called me and said the Tide wasn't working. They tried both sides, and they could not get Tide to dispense. So I gave them a refund. And a lot like Brandon from Investment Joy, if you ever watch his Laundromat videos, he always gives people more back on a refund, or just gives coins to people, just in the Laundromat. It says thank you, and I try and do that too. Most people are cool. Every once in a while, someone's kind of offended. I want to give them money. I'm like, no, it's just for being a good customer. It's not like I think you. I don't know. It's weird. But anyway, if someone loses $3, I usually try and give them $4 or $5 back because that is an inconvenience to them. It's a hassle. So yeah. But we're trying to see if it worked, and it didn't. It did not work. So sometimes, I've got people who come in there and say something doesn't work, and we try it, and it's fine. And I'm not even saying they're lying, but that's just how this stuff works. Sometimes it doesn't work, and the next time it does. It's just like it's haunted. Every laundromat, all the equipment, they're all haunted. They have ghosts that attack the machines, and then they are just sitting in the limelight, laughing and having a blast at the laundromat owners and customers who can't figure this stuff out. So we're gonna try one of the other machine or dispensers. But in Kersey, our small laundromat, I had some people in there who couldn't get a dryer to work, and I was looking at it, couldn't figure it out, and then I figured out they had a Belarus quarter. I'm like, oh, well, that's your problem right there. It worked. So there's just so many different things that can happen and go wrong. So that one worked. I'm trying to figure this out. If you saw it right there, something popped down, but it didn't come out. And I could kind of see, especially when I put my camera there are Tide jammed back there. That is the problem. So they are kind of dispensing, but they just gotten jammed, and probably so many built up back there that we could not get them out. So I took them all out, tried this again. Ah, look at that. It worked. So got that fixed. We'll have to put them back in again. It's kind of a pain because you only put like one in at a time, and the other one works now too. So yay, we fixed the problem, and we will get that all working and filled up and count the quarters. So this is the soap machine. We're doing it first. It had quite a bit in there this week, so that was nice to see. And over 200 quarters, which is good. That's over $50. So not awful. Not a new record, but pretty decent. Here is the pop machine. I'm 90% sure. Yes. And it is 89-ish, so a little over $20, $22. Made 42 last week, so it's fine. But we used to get like 8 out of that thing, so it's still doing better. The vending machine, 90 some, so it's okay. It's had up to $40, $50 in there before too. It's been a little less lately. Maybe it is because it's not quite working right. Guess what? We're the only ones in the laundromat right now, even though lots of people are using it at the moment. So I can do my witty banter with the voiceover live for once. That's a good start. We're really, really hoping that I can break a record this week with the quarters collect. We broke a record with cash in the change machine after the weekend. That was a good sign. We had lots of quarters gone during the week out of the change machine. That's a good sign too. But you just never know how that's going to translate. And we had the 4th of July. These are pretty decent though. There were people here on the 4th of July in the morning. In the evening, basically no one here, which, you know, he can't blame people for not wanting to do laundry on a holiday, but it'll be interesting how that plays out. These look decent. It's always hard to say what a record is though, because sometimes the back machines have more than the middle machines, sometimes the front machines have way more than normal. You just never know. That's good too. Another good one. The good news is we haven't had much breaking either. We did have someone call who said the middle big washer up in front was not releasing their clothes, it wasn't draining. And I came in, took apart the drain, there we go, and there was like a Metro subway card in it. I have no idea from where, but there aren't any Metro subways that I know of in Colorado, so that was interesting. Not a ton in that one, but that's probably one of the least used machines in here. Not bad. Pretty good. That one's not bad either. All right, we're off to a good start. Of course, the best machines are the ones up front. We'll see how much is in the dryers too. This one I still don't know what's wrong with it. It might be a motherboard that's broken because it won't come out of program mode. Not bad. But basically having just one washer out of order is pretty good for a laundromat. And technically just 2 dryers. And one of those dryers can be used, it just doesn't have heat. Not bad. Our bucket is filling up. We haven't had to call the police this week. That's always good. We had to do that for a lady who was sleeping behind our door last week. Nobody tried to crash into the front door like last week either, because we are right next to the DMV. I think I told that whole story, but basically, it was a guy driving who's probably in his 30s, and he didn't have a license, didn't have a permit. His girlfriend or wife was teaching him to drive on the way to the DMV. Not a good idea. Okay. This is a pretty full bucket. We're not doing the front machines yet, so hopefully that's a really good sign. Oh, that's a full one too. So that's just these front machines. And then we'll get our other bucket for the back machines and see how it did. So that's what we collected from the front machines on Monday after a very busy weekend. Now we'll see what we have Tuesday through Friday. Maybe. There we go. Pretty good. Make sure those are secure, of course. That one's not bad either. This is usually a good one. That's pretty good. That is pretty full for having to empty it twice. And then our last one, for the washers, we still have all the dryers to go, of course. It's amazing getting caught. Oh, that's not bad. We've seen that one fuller, but there's also a taller coin box in the other ones. Some of those are kind of hard to get out now, which is I'm okay with. I'd rather them be hard to get out than easy to get out, that's for sure. All right, now we'll check the dryers. I know we go different directions, different times, sorry. Look at that, I told you, people do use the no heat dryer. Some people think I'm crazy, but it's true. Good, nobody's using the completely broken one. Hey, that's really full for a dryer on this side. Usually these don't get as much use. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We did raise the price of our dryers, what, 6 weeks ago or something like that? We went from 8 minutes a quarter to 7 minutes a quarter. Still very affordable in the grand scheme of things. Many laundromats will be at 5 minutes a quarter, even 4. Not bad. Those first ones had a lot in them compared to these. Usually these have more. That's better. Top ones always have more than the bottom ones. There's a really good one. It's very cool. That one's really good too for a bottom one. Not bad. Okay. There we go. That's a good one. last couple sometimes have the most. Not that one. That's a bottom one. This one. Oh, look at that. That could be our fullest dryer quarter box ever. That's cool to see. And this one, not bad. All right, we will go count this and see what we've got. Okay, we're gonna count up the washer money from the front machines first, see how much is there. I think last week we had like 1,600 quarters, something like that. I did double time this to speed it up just a little bit. But God, this new, not even new, I had this change machine before, I just didn't use it. It's so much better than the other one. It never jams. I said that and then it jammed later. But it very rarely jams. And it's so fast, and it is just fantastic. Although you're seeing it in double time now. But I can dump a whole ton of quarters in there, and it just does fantastic. Again, I felt like we'd be close to a record, but it's just so hard to know. It was a while ago when we had that record, and then we had some weird stuff where we collected change after 9 days, and then 4 days, and I was on vacation. But over 1,700, so that's good. That's good. And then we'll see how much we have here. I think our record for quarters and all of the washers is 5,500, if I remember correctly. So that's what we're shooting for. Now, technically, we broke that record a few weeks ago, but that was a 9-day collection because I was on vacation. So I averaged out the 2 weeks together, and we did not break a record. Although we had a really good 2 weeks. It's possible maybe one of those weeks did break a record, and the other one had less, but we're trying to be official here. We can't have any of this maybe, or it could have happened. We want official stats at this laundromat. So far, so good. Over 4,000. Getting close to 5. That's all my quarters, so I don't know if I don't think that's a record. When will we get our record? Over 5,200, so still really good, but not our record. Maybe we'll have a record amount from the dryers. Maybe. We'll see. Here's the dryers. I also sped it up a bunch. Let's see what we've got here. I feel like around 1,600 is what we've been getting out of the dryers too, which is like $400. There's 1,000. So it's going to be pretty good. I don't know if we're going to break a record with the dryers either, but that's more than last week, so that's over 1,800, so that's good. Okay. All right. Now let's see the chart and where we end up total as far as the weeks go. For those who are new here and don't know this story, I took over this laundromat in September of 2023 after my brother-in-law had said he knew someone who wanted to liquidate a bunch of machines. And I went to the laundromat, saw a setup already for a laundromat. The previous owner couldn't pay rent or make payments. Something happened. The landlord took over the business with a bunch of machines. I asked the landlord, can I just rent this as a new as a laundromat, and so you have to sell the machines? And they said, sure. We came to an agreement. We came up with a price. I leased the laundromat. I bought some other machines from a defunct laundromat, paid $20,000 for a bunch of those, fixed a bunch of the machines at this laundromat. We got up and running in December. Of course, I want to get up and running much sooner, but things always take longer than you think. So this chart goes back to December when we first opened. You can see things were very, very slow back then, and things have gotten much, much better since then over time. So we've hit some plateaus. We've had some times where I thought, oh man, are we just kind of stuck at this price? Can we get any higher? We had a crazy record in April, which kind of an albatross, weird week out of everything. Maybe, I don't know what happened, but then we started seeing increased sales. I'm like, okay, this is cool. We had a down week, but then since then, things have been very, very good. Those were the 2 weeks I was on vacation. Last week was slightly lower, and this week, 1878. Not quite a record, but it's our second best week ever. So it's not a record, but it's still something to be happy about. If I look at my data, our best week ever was 1952. So we are $74 off from our record. Really, really close. And I'm wondering, yeah, we had a really good vending machine. $50 from the vending machine that record week. We had $13.81 from the washers. This week we had $13.21. We had $459.75 from the dryers back then. We had $459.50 from the dryers this week. Only 25 cents less. And then we had more from the soap. We had 51 versus 15. And then more from the pop machine, 22 versus 15. And am I looking at the right one? Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Sorry. We had 51 versus 52 from the soap machine. Sorry. 22 versus 9 on the pop machine and 24 versus 50 in the vending machine. Yeah, that wasn't making much sense. The top two washer and dryer numbers were correct. So close to a record. Not quite there, but still a good week. And I'm just wondering if the 4th of July, if that hadn't happened, I'm wondering if we would have had a record. But holidays are going to happen. Things are going to happen. So we will keep shooting for it. If we keep seeing this trend of over $1,800 a week, that's fantastic because our break even is about $4,500 a month, in that range. So if we're making $1,800 a week, that's what, $8,000 a month? Pretty good. Now if we could get that number up to $10,000 a month, that would be awesome. That would be really cool. That's kind of what I'm shooting for right now. So what would that goal be? Let me see. Just if I was going for $10,000 a month, that's $120,000 a year. We divide that by 52. That would be $2,300 a week. So we're really not that far off to do that. Let me see. What's 1,800? Let me do this the right way. 1,800 times 52 is 93,600 a year. Divided by 12, 7,800 a month. If we keep up this pace right here without having like the crazy down week we had the 1st of June. So there you go. That's where we're at. I hope you keep following along. We'll see how things go. Of course, we'll talk about problems and issues and different things too along the way. And our other small laundromat in Kersey, we also show videos on that. It's had a few more issues and problems lately, but the sales are up, so that is good. Love to hear what you think. We'll be back soon.